Namaste and welcome, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vaishnav and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. What you just witnessed was a musical art form of Chendamela, a traditional form of rhythm and percussion from the state of Kerala in India. This art form is usually an inseparable part of Kerala festivals. The group is called Brisbane Chendamela and they have been performing in and around Queensland for more than 9 years. And we are so honoured to have them commence our program for this evening. Please join me in giving them a very warm thank you. What awaits you in just a few moments is a unique and diverse, exciting array of music, dance and talent from performing artists from many different world cultures, faiths, age groups and backgrounds. This is a program that reflects a basic value and tenet of the Vedanta philosophy, the acceptance of all and striving to promote unity in diversity. Before we start though, a few housekeeping reminders. Please keep your phones on silent throughout the entire program. No food and drinks are permitted to be consumed or served in this hall. And a reminder too, that due to current COVID-19 restrictions, everyone must wear a mask at all times, including when seated. Also, toilets are located out the main doors and to the left of the hall. And in the unlikely event of an emergency, the emergency assembly point is to my right in the main car park. Without further ado, let us officially begin tonight's multicultural event with an invocation and lighting of the lamp. The lighting of a lamp is a traditional Hindu custom at the commencement of any significant event. Symbolically, it represents the dispelling of darkness and removal of obstacles. It is my pleasure to invite to the stage Swami Atmeshananda, the resident monk of the Brisbane chapter of the Vedanta Centre, Indigenous elder of the Yugara people, Uncle Stephen Cogill, Senator Paul Scar, Dr. Ashim Majumdar, and Honorary Indian Consulate Mrs. Archana Singh to light the lamp for us this evening. Swamiji and our guests will be accompanied in voice by Mr. Atul Deshpande, who will deliver the invocation prayer.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः जननीं शारदा रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे ॐ
Tonight, we would also like to acknowledge the Yugara people, the original custodians of the land upon which we gather today. We also acknowledge elders past, present and emerging. Tonight, we are very blessed to have Uncle Stephen Coggill from the Yugara people to give the welcome to country. Please make him feel welcome.
Thank you, Vaishnav, for that introduction. Some people would have seen me here over the last couple of days, and it's great to be in it. I'm very, well, good afternoon to everyone, and I've been asked to come along and provide a welcome to country. How are we all today? Are we good? Yes? That's great. How important are events like this, the annual Vedanta Multicultural show? What a privilege. It's a privilege and an honour and a blessing to be presenting a welcome to country to such an event tonight, like I've been over the last couple of days. So, having said that, I'd just like to say a little bit about the welcome to country. And what it is. We exchange greetings and welcomes today, as it has always been in our country, and we ensure that the welcome and greetings are honoured and received honourably, given honourably and received honourably. The welcome to country is an age-old tradition that is more than just words. It's a spiritual thing that our people have practiced for over many, many years in southeast Queensland and all around Australia. So tonight, while I'm participating in the culture tonight, you're also participating in my culture tonight. It's an exchange. And having said that, I've said this previously, I see the synergy and this alignment of Aboriginal people and people from India. The very similar cultures, very similar personalities, and very similar circumstances that we often find ourselves in. So I'd like to, the welcome continues respecting the customs of traditional owners, which is, you're all traditional owners from some part of the world. I'm a traditional owner from this part of the world. So I'd like to honour our ancestors and traditional custodians of lands we're gathered on and pay my respect to the elders past, present. I particularly extend that respect and warm welcome to the peoples who have joined us here tonight. My connection to this country is through my grandfathers, born in southeast Queensland, in the southeast Queensland area in Yugara country. My birthright has given me that traditional responsibility, the custodial responsibility to our people, to my generations, and passes on from generation to generation. When I was growing up, the country was very, it didn't have a lot of other cultures involved. It was, and that's the structure of the country and how it was seen. There was not a lot of recognition or support for my culture in mainstream. However, that is improving with events like this, and it improves all the more. It improves that tolerance. I'm really blessed by such events like tonight. So I just want to give a blessing, and I'll speak it in language. Yawa Yun Garamba Burin Nagambli, Bokana Yagara Jarana, Karamba Naguru Nagambli, Balka Nagambli, Yagara Jarana. And that means, hello friends. It's a friendly greeting. Good day to you all, or good afternoon to you all. Welcome on our Yagara country. Great Spirit, God bless you all, and welcome, welcome on Yagara country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uncle Stephen, for that great welcome. Next, I would like to welcome the Senior Vice President of the Brisbane Vedanta Centre, Dr. Ashim Majumdar, for his welcome address.
Thank you, Vajak. Dear friends, good evening. I begin tonight by acknowledging the traditional custodian of the land on which we are gathered here this evening, and pay our respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. I extend that respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people who are here this evening. I also wish to express my regards to all the seniors in the community who have contributed to the welfare of the society. On behalf of the Management Committee of the Vedanta Centre, I wish to welcome you all to this important event in the calendar of the Centre, our annual multicultural program. This is our 17th annual program. We are still going strong. A warm welcome to our special guest this evening, the Honourable Leanne Linnard, MP, the Minister for Children and Youth Justice, and Minister for Multicultural Affairs, Queensland, who is unable to be present today and has sent a message will be read in a short while. Honourable Senator Paul Scar, the federal member for Queensland, who is a very good friend of ours and a supporter of our centre. Mrs. Archana Singh, the Honorary Consul of India for Queensland, members of the Management Committee of the Centre, who have put in a lot of effort to ensure the smooth and efficient working of the Centre. Swami Atmeshanandaji, our Centre's Swamiji in charge, volunteers, without whom we cannot carry out the multifarious activities of the Centre, children and parents of Bala Sangha, members, friends, admirers, and supporters of this wonderful program. I would also like to extend my warm welcome to all the performers and their guests here tonight, who I'm sure are going to give us joy and excitement and happiness with fantastic entertainment throughout this evening. Friends, past 2 years have been at trying times to the whole world. The pandemic has changed our lives in many ways. We have faced the loss and suffering of one or more people with whom we have had close relationship, or we have known them for a long time, and they have also helped us. We have also lost many people across the world. This has brought to us the realization of the Vedantic dictum that the universe is one and we are all parts of this whole. The Vedic Rishi said, Purna Madham Purna Midam. That is, the absolute reality is one, and this universe that we experience is also one. Just as pain or injury in our part of the body affects the whole body and mind, a calamity or pandemic takes the toll on everyone. That is why the message of Vedanta that we should all try to seek the identity with one and not just dwell on the individual comfort, which Sri Ramakrishna used to call as the selfish I. is most relevant in modern times. Today, we are gathered here as one body, a gathering of many individuals, but with one aim, to hear, watch, and interact with each other as one family. We are fortunate to be in a country which embraces the multiculturalism and is keen on practicing the oneness. The philosophy of Vedanta also teaches us to bring home the concept of seeing one in the many. The various speakers and the performers here today will no doubt entertain us, but behind the entertainment, let us try to seek the unifying factor, that is, we belong to one world, and that we are the children of one divine. I wish you a fantastic evening. Please do not forget you have a coupon to get your dinner box at the end of the show. I can assure you it is not KFC or McDonald's. It is yummy food cooked by our very wonderful volunteers with love. I'm sure that you'll enjoy. Please enjoy and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ashim. With that, we will now start with our cultural program. Our first performance will be the South Indian classical dance form of Bharatanatyam. Bharatanatyam is one of the major dance forms of India, featuring intricate and rhythmic foot movements, gestures of the hands and eyes, and subtle facial expressions that convey a great narrative and emotion. This item features students from the Nadananjali School of Dance, whose principal teacher is Mrs. Chitra Yogi Srikanta. The dance that we'll be performing today is called the Kirtanam Om Shambho Mahadeva, a piece that describes the mesmerizing presence of Lord Nararaja, the Lord of Dance. It will be performed by Amrita Murli, Ritika Preeti, and Valentina Raviraja, and was choreographed by Mrs. Chitra Yogi Srikanta herself. Please make them feel welcome.
Thank you. தாண்டவம் ஓம் சம்போ மகாதேவா சதாசிவ சங்கர ஓம் சம்போ சதாசிவ சங்கர ஓம் சம்போ மகாதேவா தததி ததன ததன தஜனு தஜனு ததிமி ததிமி தட்டிட ததரி ததன தஜனு ததிமி ததிங்கின்னத்தும் 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 பஞ்சபூதமாயெங்கும் நிறைந்தோனி என்றும் பஞ்சமென்பவர் நெஞ்சில் தீர்த்திடவே ஐயம் பஞ்சபூதமாயெங்கும் நிறைந்தோனி என்றும் பஞ்சமென்பவர் நெஞ்சில் தீர்த்திடவே ஐயம் செஞ்சகை மருடம் அஞ்சிடும் அரவமே அணிந்தே ஒன்றிடும் கடல் ஜந்தகையன ஒழிக்க ஆடினான் செஞ்சடை மருடம் அஞ்சிடும் பரவமே அணிந்தே கொஞ்சிடும் கடல் ஜந்தகையன ஒழிக்க ஆடினான் பஞ்சபூதமாயும் விரைந்தோனி என்றும் தஞ்சமென்பவர் நெஞ்சில தீர்த்திடவே ஐயம் செஞ்சடை மருடம் அஞ்சிடும் பரவமே அணிந்தே கொஞ்சிடும் கடல் ஜந்தகையன ஒழிக்க ஆடினான் ஓம் சம்போ மகாதேவா சதாசிவ சங்கர ஓம் சம்போ மகாதேவா தகடம் தத்தி துன்னம் தகடம் தத்தி துன்னம் தகடம் தத்தி துன்னம் தகடம் தத்தி துன்னம் தகடம் தகடம் தி தகடம் தும் தகடம் தகடம் ததிங்கினரும் 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 நிறுத்தம் புரிந்தார் நிறுத்தம் புரிந்தார் शंभो महादेवा सदाशिव शंकर ओम शंभो महादेवा
Such a great way to start our program. Coming up next, we will be moving east from India across the Bay of Bengal to Thailand. The Thai Culture and Language School of Brisbane is a Buddhist Sunday school which develops consciousness in Thai culture, language and Buddhism to the youth and adults of Brisbane. Today we are honoured to have them present a traditional Thai dance. Please give them a warm welcome onto the stage. What a great performance that was. Now for a change of pace, the Vedanta Centre is ever grateful for the continued support and well wishes of so many community partners and leaders, including members of Parliament and Council. Apologies, there will be a secondary song from the Thai Brisbane School. Please make them feel welcome again. of performances that was. Now for a change of pace, the Vedanta Centre is ever grateful for the continued support and well wishes of so many community partners and leaders, including members of Parliament and Council. Unfortunately tonight, MP Leanne Leonard, Minister for Children and Youth Justice and Minister for Multicultural Affairs, was unable to attend in person. She has, however, sent a special message on her behalf, which I would now like to read. Congratulations to the Brisbane chapter of the Vedanta Centre of Sydney and everyone involved in today's annual multicultural program. I apologise for being unable to join you this evening to share in the wide range of cultural activities that are taking place, but I'm sure everyone will have a wonderful time celebrating together. This evening's program presents many different cultures through music, dance and drama. We recognise the showcase of many different cultures represents the unity that lies at the very heart of the Vedanta philosophy, which affirms the oneness of existence, the divinity of the soul, and the harmony of religions. During these difficult times of being separated from family and friends, nationally and internationally, I hope everyone uses this evening's celebrations to connect and strengthen those important bonds in our local community. This evening's program is a wonderful example of Queensland's diversity in action, providing an opportunity for people from all backgrounds to come together to share in traditions, music, dance and performances. Our state has a rich cultural heritage and we are lucky to benefit from this diversity in so many different ways. We can see these benefits in the vibrancy of our communities, in the talents and traditions being shared every day, and in the harmonious ways in which we continue to build understanding and connectedness with each other. I wish you every success for today's program. Thank you, Leanne Leonard, MP. We would of course like to again thank MP Leanne Leonard for sending in that message of support. And with that, we will return back to our cultural performances. Bala Sangha and Yuva Sangha are values-based classes held for children and youth at the Brisbane chapter of the Vedanta Centre. These classes aim to teach children universal humanistic values represented in the teachings of Vedanta. The young students have written a play called The Problem of COVID, in response to the uncertainty and suffering that the current pandemic has generated in our global community. This play has been directed and supported by their teachers, particularly Mr. Atul Deshpande. Please give a very big welcome to the students of Bala and Yuva Sangha.
What's wrong, my blue?
Didi, my birthday's coming up, but I can't celebrate with my friends. Our grandparents can't even fly over to celebrate with me. This COVID lockdown's so annoying.
Don't worry, my blue. Sometimes we have to bear some discomfort to help each other.
But Didi, it isn't just about us. My friend Bala's father is stuck in Lima for a year. She can only see him on FaceTime. So many people around the world are suffering.
Well, even though times seem tough right now, have faith that God is looking after us. God helps those who help themselves.
How do you even know that's true?
Sit here and let me tell you the story of Krishna in Mathura, Vrindavan. Our story begins in young Krishna's village, Vrindavan. Every year, the people of Vrindavan celebrated their harvest by praying to Lord Indra, the mighty god of rain and thunder. They believed that Indra brought happiness and prosperity by showering the village with rain. Every elder was busy with preparations for the celebration. Curious Krishna wanted to see what his mother was doing.
Ma, why is everyone so busy today?
Oh, don't you know, son? We are planning to celebrate a special festival for Lord Indra.
Really? Why do we worship and celebrate Indra?
Because Indra, the Lord of rain and thunder, must be pleased for us to receive rain. Rainwater gives life to our lands, keeps them fertile. The grass feeds the cows, and the cows grow bigger. The bigger the cows get, the more milk they give. From the milk, I make your favorite, butter and ghee. When we sell the butter and ghee, we make our living.
So, Mother, are we praying for rain or for our own prosperity and money?
We are not praying for money. We are praying to Lord Indra for rain so that our livelihood continues.
Ma, is Lord Indra God or is he only the Lord of rain?
Indra is only the Lord of rain. You're very wise, my child. What is on your mind?
God is our very own. God gives life and maintains this universe. God is in every speck of this universe. If we want to make God happy, we have to do good things that help everyone.
Oh, Krishna, you are so right. But what about all the preparations and yummy food we have made? What do we do about that?
God gives us without asking, so let's be thankful. Thankful for the rain, thankful for the grass, thankful for the cows, and celebrate at the foot of Govardhan Mountain.
Govardhan holds trees for our shade in summer. Govardhan stops the rain cloud. The cows have the meadows in its foothills. Let's go over there for our picnic.
Since everyone agreed with Krishna, they arranged a festival to celebrate at Govardhan foothills. On the day of the festival, everyone wore colorful clothes and decorated their cows with flowers and bells. The festival was going along perfectly, but up in the heavens, Lord Indra was furious.
How dare they disobey me? Listening to a silly young boy? Now I will show them my true powers till they beg me to stop.
Indra then sent a massive storm to Vrindavan. It rained and rained and rained, and everyone's homes were flooded. The villagers had nowhere to go, so they went to Krishna for help.
Don't worry, everyone. Govardhan will protect us.
So Krishna gathered everyone in a large cave into Govardhan Hill. They all prayed to God for their safety. With his little pinky finger, Krishna lifted the mountain high up so that everyone could take shelter. He then asked all the villagers to put their sticks up in the air to support the mountain. It was as if everyone got the strength of Krishna when they decided to help themselves. Indra's reign could do no harm to the villagers at all. Indra realized that Krishna was no ordinary boy. And recognizing Krishna as the Lord incarnate on earth, begged for Krishna's forgiveness. So, Maithili, what is the moral of the story?
I think the moral of the story is that if you have faith in yourself and faith in God, then we can overcome any difficulty.
Remember to wear a mask in public. Wash your hands regularly and keep a safe distance. Get vaccinated as soon as possible, and let's help ourselves by following health advice. The scientists and health workers are doing the best they can, so if we all responsibly play our part, we can beat COVID.
Thank you, Didi.
The story of Krishna in Vrindavan and how God will help us beat COVID. However, I'm not sure myself why there's any pain and suffering at all. Because if God is all-knowing, all-loving, and all-powerful, then why should there be any pain and suffering?
Very interesting question. When we suffer, we always ask, why me? But when all things are going our way, and we are enjoying life, at that time do we ask, why me? Just as joy and happiness are part of our life, so is suffering. Sometimes suffering helps us to uncover our hidden secrets. Have you seen a baby turtle make its way to the ocean after hatching from an egg? The baby turtle must make its own way from the shore to the ocean. In the process, they may get lost or simply get eaten up by a seagull. But this process of struggle sets their compass, sets their direction for life, and many years later, they'll return to the same beach to lay their eggs.
Sometimes there is suffering as a result of our past mistakes or behavior. Law of karma says, as you sow, so you reap. If you don't study, you'll probably suffer from bad grades. You may get away with it, but you'll set a habit of not putting in enough effort. This will eventually catch you out one day.
Look at Lord Buddha's teachings. He said, change is the only constant. How's that for a paradox? Nothing remains the same. All things change. And with change, some things are lost and others are gained. Avatars and incarnations, or messengers of God, come and they go, and none of them can escape suffering. Take a look at the lives of Rama, Krishna, Buddha, and Jesus. Rama had to part from his family. Krishna was born in captivity. Gautama, the prince, had to leave all his belongings before he became Buddha. And even Jesus, the Son of God, had to bear the pain of a thorny crown and crucifixion.
Sometimes the suffering is also there for us to appreciate the many joys of life. If we didn't have COVID-19, would we not appreciate our freedoms as much? Does it not change our perspective of all things we take for granted? Have you heard Mother Kunti's prayers? Kunti, the mother of Pandava, prayed to Krishna.
Vipada Santata Shashwat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavato Darshanam Yasyat Punar Bhavadarshanam. O Lord, I wish that all those calamities I have suffered befall me again and again, so that I can see you again and again. For seeing you and being in your presence is the only way to liberation from my ego.
I think you're saying that God doesn't set out to make us suffer, but then what can we do to overcome the pain and suffering?
Swami Vivekananda once said, "May I be born again and again and suffer thousands of miseries, so that I may worship the only God that exists, the only God I believe in, the sum total of all souls, and above all, my God the wicked, my God the miserable, my God the poor of all races, of all species, is a special object of my worship." So, in other words, the way to ease our own suffering is by focusing on helping others. So if we must pray, let's pray for strength to bear all suffering with a grin.
Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born to eternal life.
What a wonderful play done by Bala and Yuva Sangha. I think that deserves another round of applause. We are blessed today to have a special message from Swami Sridharananda, the well-loved and respected senior monk and president of the Vedanta Centre of Sydney. Swamiji joined the Ramakrishna Order in 1947 and has served the Ramakrishna mission in various centres around the world. He has been a significant driving force and inspiration in the establishment of the Ramakrishna and Vedanta movement in Australia. Swamiji has prepared a personal video message from the centre in Sydney, which we will now play.
Thanks Swami Agneshananda Ji for requesting me to participate in this meeting of yours. Thanks to modern technology, how I wish I could have been present to you physically, but modern technology has made it possible for me to be with you all and participate in this discussion. I must also thank the organizers of this multi-faith meeting, and that organizing group has decided the theme of today's meeting is Oneness for a World in Difficult Times. So dears, apart from the courtesies of thanking you and expressing my gratitude for being invited, let us get to the subject matter straight away. First is, it is being organized by a multi-faith group. A group believes in oneness of all prevailing and practicing faiths. A. B is oneness of the world. And C is the difficult times. Allow me, in a very short period of time, discuss these three items. We know that all over the world, there are more than 250 million people, and subject to geographical boundaries and traditions that has developed for ages together, this whole human society has broken up following different faiths, different beliefs. And that is why in today's world, we are aware of multiple faiths. Why we are aware? Because we have not learned or educated ourselves to welcome each other, but we make it as a point of quarrel, point of dissent because of the so-called diversity in different faiths. The purpose of this multi-faith group activity is only one. That is, our scriptures of the ancient days, known as the Vedas and Upanishads, they say, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. Truth is one, reality is one. The knowers of that, they say, it can be approached through various paths. This is what is the essential purpose of the activity of such a multi-faith group, that we know we must educate ourselves, convince ourselves that each and every faith and belief in this world, they proclaim that the purpose of life is to be one with God. And it's not my saying, dears. Let me quote from the Islam. They say the purpose of life is to be a true Khuda ka banda. Khuda is the one self-existing reality, and the purpose of human life is to be a devoted, dedicated, totally aligned with Him, a servant. A servant has no personal opinion but his master's will. That is the meaning of the word banda, servant. The purpose of human life is to be a perfect Khuda ka banda. Christianity says we are all children of the divine, the Father in heaven, and we are all his children. The supremacy and the sublime point is the concept of God in Islam, in Christianity. In Hinduism, what do we see? Let me quote here so that you know it is not my woolly idea. Srinantu Vishwe Amritasya Putra Ame Dhamani Divyani Tastu. Listen to me, my friends. We are all children of that immortal bliss. I have been to that level of awareness. I've come back from it to tell you this. This is my authenticated authority. This is what multi-faith is. Now, let me put it in a very, very simple geometrical language. We were taught a circle has 3 elements: center, radius, and circumference. And when we were students, we were told when the circumference is divided into 360 equal parts, that circumference, each point, if we draw perpendicular from that circumference, that point of circumference, all the 360 radii will meet at the same point, the center. The concept of multi-faith is we may be at 360 different places on the circumference. The whole concept of the cosmos and humans all over. We may be at 360 different points. If you want to elaborate further, degrees are divided into minutes. 60 minutes make a degree and 60 seconds make a minute. That means the circumference of a circle can be divided into 1,296 different points. And from each point, if you draw a perpendicular, you will, all those 1,296,000 radii will cut each other at one point. That is the center. That is, however diverse we may be, our goal of life is to be unified with the maker of this universe. That is what multi-faith is, and that is how we should understand. And with that idea, let us see how can we jointly face the difficulties in our lifetime. This is about the concept of multi-faith. Now, concept of one world. What do we mean by one world? The world is one. It is we who created diversity because we are totally saturated with the concept of difference. And what is that difference consists of? Name, form, qualities, utilitarian value. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Artha Kriya Karite. name, form, qualities, utilitarian value. That is the cause of diversity. And instead of taking that diversity as a wonderful divine fragrance, we make use of it to create quarrel, dissension, dissatisfaction, and all that we see happening in the society. So multi-faith, one word, call it by any name. Call it we are the children of the immortal bliss, Amritasya Putra. Call it by the name of we are the children of the divine, the Father in heaven. Call it we are the Kudaka Bandha. That makes no difference. The only point of contention is that we are one, essentially. The difference should not be created to run at each other's throats with an open knife or a sword, but the difference should be seen as spice and salt and a wonderful divine fragrance which will unify the whole human society. Notwithstanding what is our faith, notwithstanding what is our belief, notwithstanding what is the color of our skin, notwithstanding how rich and how poor we are, how mighty and strong and how weak and feeble we are. These are all diversities, but the unity is to see the divine everywhere. And once you see the divine everywhere, there is no scope of neglecting each other. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Atiti Devo Bhava. That is, let him be a God to you, representative of the divine to you. So, dears, the difficulties are created by man or maybe natural disaster. But that feeling of oneness, we are children of the divine, the immortal bliss, that should bind us together and that should guide us to help each other. While helping, let us not sit on a high pedestal and say, come, come, I will help you, I will oblige you. That is not what Swami Vivekananda taught us. Let me quote. He said, those days are gone. What are those days? Those days where the giver is to sit on a throne and give it to people, and the people used to kneel down and receive, and the giver is to stand up with his might and main and ego and to give. He was a charitable person. Those days are gone. That's what Swami says. What is the present day? Let the giver kneel down and give. And the receiver, giving the giver an opportunity to serve God in man, let the receiver stand up and receive and bless the giver. This is the modern idea of being helpful to each other. Dears, with these few words, I will request you to put your thinking hat on and try to understand how all of us if you can tune ourselves to this concept of a universal religion for the mankind and behave accordingly, so that our whole life is nothing else but an endless worship of the divine. There is no problem of the world that we cannot solve. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you. God bless you.
Thanks again to Swamiji for sending in that personal message. Up next, we will be heading up near the Himalayas for a very unique experience. Tenzin Chogyal is one of the world's finest Tibetan musicians. Tenzin is a Tibetan Australian artist, composer, activist, musical director, and cultural ambassador. While proudly continuing his unbroken nomadic lineage, which is a central part of his music, Tenzin also embraces opportunities to take his music into more contemporary, uncharted territory, both in the studio and on stage, sharing the Tibetan culture with others. Tenzin has 9 independent albums, 3 of them with his fusion band, Tibet 2 Timbuktu, and regularly performs with the Camerata Brisbane's acclaimed chamber orchestra. His collaborated albums include The Last Dalai Lama with Phil Glass and the 2021 Grammy-nominated songs From the Bardo with Laurie Anderson and Jesse Parrish-Smith, which is a moving interpretation of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. We are absolutely honoured to have Tenzin with us tonight to contribute a wonderful journey of music and story to our program. Please welcome Tenzin Chogyal to the stage.
Good evening to everyone, and I hope you all are doing well. And I would like to thank my friend Manika for inviting me to be part of this. She works really hard behind this, I guess. I know a lot of our friends, especially a lot of my Tibetan friends, they live in India, and I see a lot of my Indian friends here, so I know your families are probably, so I'm going to do this first song called Heart Sutra, and it says, on the wings of the wind horse, I send you my praise. Now that the sign of earth is dissolving into water, water into fire, fire into air, air into consciousness, awaken to one, listen without distraction. Mm-hmm. I'll do one more song. I know there's a lot of amazing programs. So, if you all can sing with me, that'll be awesome. Is that okay? And I know, don't worry, no one will see your lips move. So, and if you don't want anyone else to see you sing, then close your eyes and no one will see you sing as well. So the syllable that you will sing with me is just almost like sending out your prayers. It's a syllable soul. Can you say soul? It's very quiet. Okay. And visualize as if you are on the top of the mountain and singing up to the valleys and the horizon that you can probably. So it's just a song to send out little hope. So, okay. Not that song, okay. I haven't performed for a while, so I kind of forget my own songs. Okay, now take a deep breath. Okay, once, all together, okay? Once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Have a beautiful evening.
I think you will all agree that was a truly unique and engaging performance. Next up, we have a very special guest to welcome. It is our pleasure to introduce to you all tonight Senator Paul Scar. Senator Scar brings his experience of 25 years in the private sector to the Senate, including working as a senior executive in the mining industry. He currently serves as the chair of the Parliamentary Joint Committee on the Australian Commission for Law Enforcement Integrity. We are absolutely honoured to have Senator Paul Scar here with us today to grace this occasion and invite him onto the stage to say a few words. Please join me in welcoming onto the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm absolutely delighted and honoured to be here this evening. If I can first acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we have this multicultural, multi-faith celebration, the Yagara people, and pay my respect to elders past, present and emerging. If I can give my love and best wishes to Swamiji, Namaste, Swamiji, my good friend from the Vedanta Centre, pay my respects to the Honorary Consul for India, Archana Singh, and all the dignitaries here this evening. I was greatly moved by many of the celebrations and performances. The drummers who started, I wish I could get them outside my bedroom at 6 a.m. every morning. I would not need an alarm clock if they were out there. They would get me just in the right mindset. And then we had the beautiful dancers and then the wonderful, wonderful play that was put on by the students. And I really do commend each and every one of the students. You did so well. It was just absolutely beautiful, and the messages came from the heart, and it demonstrated to me how much you understand the teachings of the Vedanta Centre. So I really do pay tribute to each and every one of you and to your teachers. I think it was just a great performance. Give them all a round of applause. And I'll reflect deeply on the concept of the one circle with 1,296,000 points and all of the radii meeting in the centre as a perhaps perfect expression of the faith of the Vedanta Centre. My office is in the city of Springfield, where the Vedanta Centre is based, and I've come to know the Vedanta Centre very well, and it is always such a great place of peace. Probably the most peaceful place I ever visit as a politician, far more peaceful than Parliament House in Canberra. And I always look forward to attending the Vedanta Centre. And the Vedanta Centre reaches out to the community and provides so much support to members of the community through the community kitchen, through the garden, and through just being such a welcoming place to people of all faiths, all ethnicity. And no matter where they come from, the Vedanta Centre is welcoming. And I perhaps saw the best manifestation or articulation of this when I had the honour to be present when the Vedanta Centre connected with the Himba Yamba School in Springfield, which is a school for young Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children. And the Vedanta Centre worked together with the teachers of that school to apply the principles of meditation for the Himba Yamba School. And I was so impressed as I was sitting there watching that workshop to see how the teachings and principles upon which the Vedanta Centre is based could be applied in that context, and the great respect with which that workshop was conducted. And from my perspective, that just represented the very best of Australia. And I think we've seen, we're all participating in a wonderful event this evening, and I'm greatly honoured to be here. It's a great blessing which you bring to the Australian community. Thank you very much.
Thank you again to Senator Paul for making the time and coming this evening. Coming up next, we have a definite change of pace. Simone Pope is one of Australia's leading exponents of flamenco dance. Her passion for flamenco has taken her to Spain. I'll repeat that. Her passion for flamenco has taken her to Spain on a regular basis for the last 20 years, making it her second home. In the year 2000, Simone established the Flamenco Studio, which has become recognised Australia-wide as a flamenco hub of Brisbane. It offers regular, general classes, private tuition, student performance groups, workshops, and yearly student concerts. Simone was one of the founding soloists of the renowned national flamenco company, Flamenco Fire, which has toured extensively throughout Australia, performing recently to rave reviews at QPAC's Concert Hall for the Brisbane Festival. Simone is joined today by Stefania Guichardo. Stefania started her flamenco dance journey at an early age in Venezuela, and after moving to Brisbane, she continued studying with Simone in 2015. Today's performance will encompass the many elements of flamenco dance form, from the percussive rhythms of the footwork and castanets to the graceful and expressive movements of the body and hands. Let's welcome them to the stage with a warm round of applause, Simone and Stefania for Danza Flamenca. Thank you, Simone and Stefania, for that dazzling insight into Spanish culture. Tonight, ladies and gents, we are honoured to have with us a very, very special guest, Mrs. Archana Singh, the Honorary Indian Consulate for Queensland. Mrs. Singh has been an ardent supporter of community events and a strongly regarded leader in the Indian community. Please make her feel welcome to the stage to give her address.
Namaste, good evening everyone. Wow, what beautiful, mesmerizing and moving performances we've been seeing this evening. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful evening. I begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. I believe Uncle Stephen has left, but he gave us a beautiful welcome to country. And it's been a pleasure to be actually seeing him over the last couple of days with events related to Gandhi Jayanti and connecting with him in a meaningful way. Honorable Senator Paul Scar, good friend of the Indian community, respected Swamiji, Dr. Ashim Majumdar, all elders present here, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. I also acknowledge community leaders who are present here this evening. It is a great honor to be a part of the annual function of the Vedanta Center. The world we live in today is defined by chaos, conflict, and confusion. And this has been made more challenging and harrowing for all humanity as we battle disease, inequities, natural calamities, and the pandemic. It is then, friends, that we frantically look to our anchors that help us to maintain our equilibrium and to make sense of the world around us. The beautiful teachings of the Vedanta philosophy highlight our common humanity and universal peace and harmony, provide us with the staples that ensure a peaceful and progressive world. And it was really moving to see the beautiful performance that was given by the children of the Bal Sangh and the Yuva Sangh. And it was really, really a very, very meaningful message that they gave through that skit. I extend my thanks to Swamiji and to the participants, volunteers, and members of the Vedanta family for doing their bit in making our community and society vibrant and peaceful. I thank you all for nurturing the ancient wisdom of our sages and for sharing it with the wider community. I thank you all for bringing people together and helping us to heal as a community and to bring together the best in all of us. Thank you and have a really good evening.
Thank you again, Mrs. Singh, for your time this evening and your continued service to the Queensland Indian community. And with that, ladies and gents, we have reached the end of today's cultural program. We started tonight with an Indian Chandamela, and for our final performance, we will be returning back to India. The final item for tonight will be a Tiruvadira Kali, a unique dance style from Kerala, the southernmost state of India. Groups of even numbers of ladies are seen dressed in traditional Kerala attire, dancing in a circle. The graceful movements of the dance are both enchanting and elegant. The traditional sari with colourful borders, along with fresh jasmines adorning their hair, are all staples of this classical dance, usually performed for the South Indian festival of Onam. Please welcome our final performance for the evening. What a wonderful final performance that was. Now I must take a moment to acknowledge the people that made our annual program possible. The Vedanta Center is a non-for-profit organization that is dedicated to serving the community. It organizes and hosts a range of events and activities to foster connectedness, self-awareness, personal growth, and service to the community. One of the most recent community initiatives has been the inception of the Masterada's Kitchen. The Masterada's Kitchen is a community cafe that aims to provide affordable, nutritious, and wholesome food. It runs every Saturday morning, and we are thrilled to see the community enthusiastically showing up in great numbers to support this great initiative. Being a customer there myself, I know firsthand the great work that they do there. Masterada's Kitchen also operates a soup kitchen and a food bank. The food bank provides free meals, free bread, and subsidized grocery hampers for those experiencing food insecurity. If you would like to know more and even get involved, please do get in touch. Even better, please become a member. Membership forms are available at the check counter at the front of the hall. The Vedanta Center also welcomes all donations. Donations of any size will go a long way in assisting with the day-to-day functions of the center. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the stage Mr. Unnikrishnan Nair, the Assistant Secretary in the Executive Management Committee of the Vedanta Center, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Uni, and those of you who know me know that when I hit the mic, I hog the mic. So for today, as a vote of thanks I want to thank all the heroes as well as unsung heroes that we don't hear about or see. So let's start with all the performance for today. We want to thank the performers for their artistry, their dedication, not to mention the very young performers for whom we have to thank their coaches, their teachers, as well as their parents. So can we have a round of applause for all of them, please? A special thanks for our indigenous elder from the Yagra County, Uncle Stephen Coghill, for blessing the occasion. A thanks for all our special guests, the Honorable Leanne Lynette, who sent us a message. She's the Minister for Children and Youth Justice. Senator Paul Skar, the Honorary Indian Consulate, Mrs. Archana Singh. We also want to thank Swami Sridharanandaji for his address, Dr. Ashim Majumdar for his welcome address, and a special thanks to the Cooperoo Secondary College for hosting this occasion. Can we have a round of applause, please? So some of the unsung heroes for today. we have the sound engineer, and we have all the volunteers that work back at the back of the hall, unseen and unheard. The curtains are not automatic, I'll tell you that. There is somebody that's actually pulling on the strings. So a special thanks for all of them. And a very, very special thanks for someone who puts the show together, but is often unrecognized. Our MC for tonight, Vaishnav Madhuchakra. Can we have a round of applause for him? You would notice there's someone running around in a red top taking photographs. He is Brian. He goes very unrecognized. He's not just been doing this show, he's done several of our shows, several of the Vedanta Center events, and he's pretty much someone that we take for granted. So today we want to take this occasion to say thank you. Now you've heard about all the activities that the Vedanta Center has. We have regular yoga classes that's run by Jyotiba Patel, Shashi Hinduja and Sumati. We want to thank them. You've heard about our soup kitchen. Actually, you've heard about Sarada's kitchen. Close to 4,000 meals free of charge to people who need them. This soup kitchen is driven by Ram Singh and his family and friends, Mrs. Sarojana Singh, her sister Anila Clark, and a friend of theirs, Nirmala Madhavan. Now we want to have a special round of thanks for them because this is really unselfish. Then we have the Sarada's Kitchen who come together every Saturday to create meals for people who purchase them, where the returns go back to the Vedanta Center, who can then run other activities like the soup kitchen and other stuff. This Sarada's Kitchen is coordinated and organized by none other than Shankar Kotha. So we want to say thanks to him. Today's food is sponsored and cooked by Sunil Guram. We want to say a special thanks to some other unsung heroes, people who we don't even notice. Sally Kinard, who does our communications and all our Facebook page and stuff like that. Our gardening team, if you come to the Vedanta Center, the garden there is actually being looked after just about every single day, and every single week there's a big group that comes together. So we have two coordinators there. We have Anne Osborne, and then on the weekends we have Morgan and Vicky Sundaram. The Bala Sangha, the little children that you saw putting up the play today, they didn't just happen to be born that way, they were coached and trained by Atul Deshpande and Menaka Thomas. Speaking of Menaka Thomas, the entire stage management of all the performance was done by Menaka Thomas. So a special round of applause for her. The decorations that you see here today, right at the front as you enter, and what's hanging at the back of the stage, that was done by Nagendran. We spent almost the whole of today doing all of this. And a very special thanks to Preeti Suraj, who put together this entire show. While Menaka was the manager for the stage, she was the manager for just about everything else. And of course, we can't forget Swami Agneshananda, who is the coordinator at the Vedanta Center in Brisbane. He is the resident monk. He has a hand in everything that goes on, either today or every day or any day that you want to pick your day. He'll be there. He answers your calls. He attends to you, and he attends to every event that happens there. So today we want to use this occasion to say a very, very special thanks to him for being the leader that he is. Thank you so much. I'm sure all of you can hear the noise and maybe smell the food, so I'll hand you over to the MC who will take you there.
Thank you for that, Mr. Nair, and to all the Vedanta members that made tonight possible. That brings us to the close of Vedanta Centre's annual concert. Dinner will now be served, as I'm sure a lot of you already went and got it. Unfortunately, no food and drink can be consumed within the hall, so we invite you to collect your food before you leave the venue, and please do not eat within the hall. On behalf of the Vedanta Centre, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your generous support in making tonight's concert a success. Please travel home safely, and good night. There's always one of these at these concerts. If anybody has lost their Hyundai key, please come to the stage. I have it. Hyundai key. Thank you.